Hi, welcome to another episode of Beyond Chronic Disease. My name is Wendy Gathercole. I'm your host, and today I'm going to be talking about stress. What do I know about stress? Well, I've had stress. I don't do stress. I say I don't do stress. And I have a story about that very soon. But what is stress? So stress is a human, Yes, it is human, and it's also in the animal world. Stress is a normal human response that happens to everybody in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so our bodies are designed to experience stress and react to it, and we all react in different ways. So when you come about a mental or a physical challenge, and you've never you've never done it before, you might get some heightened experiences and emotions in your body, and these could be physical or mentally. And that's what they deem as stress. So stress is good in the fact that it helps your body to respond to new situations. So that is a positive. If you've been listening to me, actually, I've got my positive thinking podcast next week. It's nothing like that at all. But stress can be positive for your body, but it's when you come about long-term stress, when it's detrimental to your body. So basically, when we go into stress, our body, when I was talking about the emotions, physical, mental emotions, so one of them, and I'm sure most of you have experienced this, your heart might start to pound a little bit, and you might feel a little flutter in your stomach, and you might feel heat in your body, or you start to breathe a little bit quicker, things like that. So that, like I said, can be good for you, because if you're walking through the streets at night, it just creates that little bit of awareness out there, so it keeps you on your toes, basically. But when you get home, it all disappears, hopefully. It's when it doesn't disappear and it's constant in your body body or your mind, that it creates detrimental effects on you. Now, I've spoken about know your body. So typically a diagnosis of stress, like there's no commonality with stress, because everybody has different degrees of it. So it's all just a matter of questions. Is this happening? What's going on in your life? And so forth. That's typically what gets asked. And I know this because I've been asked these questions. So it's just I don't know if you've heard, but long-term effects of stress can have ill effects on your body. I probably just said that before. But they can come in the forms of aches and pains. And a lot of us have probably experienced the old tension in the neck and the shoulders. That's the physical ailments. You can have trouble sleeping, if you're not sleeping, and you may not think that you're stressed, but there could be something that you don't know mentally, but your body's taking it on. So that actually impacts on your sleep as well. High blood pressure could be another one. I mean, we all get high blood pressure in different situations, but a high blood pressure is another one that can impact on our body. And so that's just two basic ones that, we're probably the more common that you've experienced. You could get, I said the shoulder pain, neck pain, shoulder pain. You could always be feeling sick in the stomach and wondering what that is. That could just wholly and solely be stress. I'm not saying it is, saying it may be. And this is just how these symptoms come about in our body from having long-term stress. And then that's the physical side of it. And then there's also the mental side of it. So long-term stress can create things like anxiety, panic attacks, depression. Wow, I had all of them. So maybe I was stressed. Sadness, sort of along the lines of depression. There's all different forms of depression as well. So these are the things that can impact your body long-term when you have long-term stress. And then we can go on from that too, because when you're trying to manage stress because it doesn't feel good mentally or physically, so then you might go to drinking, gambling, overeating. So some of these things that we do in our everyday life, we may think they're just very habitual, which they can be, but they can be habitual because we have got underlying situations like stress. So that's stress that wanted to explain all about stress. So with me, so now I'll tell you the story with me. I say I don't do stress. So I don't. I've developed a really simple 3-step program that I have taken on board, that I do, and this is why I know it works, to alleviate stress. And like I said, everybody gets stress in all different ways, forms. They take on stress in all different situations. Somebody that has 3 things on a day might be wholly and solely stressed. Another person with 3 things on might be as bored as hell. So everybody is very, very different. But this program that I have adopted for me, that I created for myself, I believe it works incredibly because of my lifestyle and some of the things that I've had to endure in such short amount of time in situations. When, it just is very effective. It's very effective. And sometimes I'll get in a situation and I'll just forget for that split second, and then I'll remember my program. So it puts a smile on your face after a while, especially for me when I keep forgetting what I know that works, and it's real and simple for me. So what I would like to share with you is, I say I don't do stress. And in our December, it was very, very busy leading up to Christmas, and busy as in there was things on every day. So it was fun. There was just a lot happening. Okay. Now, I wasn't stressed. I don't do stress. I wasn't stressed in my mind. Just lots happening, fun to do. And Christmas coming up, there's always that thought in my mind, like, how long will it take me to prepare for Christmas, family coming over? And a week before Christmas, well, actually a week and a half before Christmas, I fractured a rib. It's all cool. Fractured a rib. And then a week before Christmas, I got shingles. So that is physical stress right there and then. Okay. So the fractured rib and then the shingles on top of it. Well, the fractured rib probably wasn't stress, but the shingles definitely stress. So I looked at my whole situation, and me being me, who doesn't like to get unwell and very rarely does, instead of, going into what's this, why has this happened, and so forth, I just looked at the whole situation, thought, oh my gosh, my body was stressed. I wasn't in my mind, but my body was, and this is what it's telling me, and it's showing me to slow down, to stop. Well, thank you, body, but I'll stop after a week, after I do Christmas. So that's my little story about physical stress. And I have done a podcast on Know Your Body a couple of weeks ago. So this is all part of, when you do know your body, it is easier to cope with what's going on. Okay, it's easier to put strategies in place to not, you're not going to prevent everything from happening in your life. But like me, when I get to a situation where there's a lot coming in at me all at once, and sometimes when I haven't had a moment to just breathe about it, I will forget for that minute about my little stress program that works. So if you want to know all about it, just contact me in my link tree, and I'll certainly get back to you there. So stress is a killer. It's probably the number 1, number 2 killer. You know, tends to be, you know, strokes, heart attacks, and all that tend to come from stress. So if you want to alleviate stress, just that little bit, a lot, have the tips and the knowledge on how you can stop it in its tracks, get my really simple 3-step program. Okay, and yes, that's it. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, see you. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.